everyone, I'm Karen and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about We Hunt the Flame by Hafsah Faizal. This is a fantasy debut novel which is inspired by ancient Arabia, and it follows two main protagonists and two POVs, which is Zafira and Nasir. I'm just going to start off by saying I really love this book. This is probably the first book in a good few years that I stayed up to about midnight to finish reading because I was so in the story, I was so involved, I was loving life, and I didn't want to stop reading even though I had work really early the next morning. So yeah, that probably tells you something. Basically, the tagline is people lived because she killed and people died because he lived. So Zafira is a huntress. She hunts in the cursed forest that's really close to her village to help her people survive, but the forest is cursed and it keeps moving closer and closer and closer. Whereas Nasir is the prince, and he's called the Prince of Death, and he's killed a lot of people, mostly because he doesn't have a choice. And this is kind of how their story intertwines when a witch tempts them with the knowledge of a way to restore magic to the entire kingdom, and for them to save their families, their people, and how they kind of come together in a way. I'm explaining this very badly. I think you should just read it. What I really liked about this was the rich world building and the storytelling. There's a glossary and like a pronunciation guide at the back of the book, which to be honest I didn't really use. I feel like a lot of the words that I'm guessing are Arabic, which were unfamiliar to me, you could kind of understand through the context. It felt really nice and very immersive. It felt like, in my opinion, you're part of a culture, and part of life is the words people use. And so to me that was like a tantalizing look inside, you know, a different culture and a different people. So the kingdom of Arawiya has different areas, and each area is ruled by a caliph, and then they all have to answer to the sultan. And I really like that every single part of the kingdom had their own, they had their own identity, their own customs, their own rituals. You know, there were different races, different languages, and I really liked that because it felt like the world was really well realized. The characters were really kind of believable, and I liked how the characters from different areas would describe each other. That was especially because Zafira is from an area where at the moment there is snow all the time, and so they're paler. And then the way Nasir and his companions, they describe her, is absolutely hilarious. It's probably very true, but I liked how we get an insight not just in the people and their customs, but also what do they think about others. Because I feel a lot of what defines a person is who they're surrounded with and how they think about the world and see the world. And I really felt that because of the two POVs, one being Zafira and one being Nasir, we really got to like get into their heads a bit more. A big part of this book talks about identity and who are you and who do you want to be. Both Zafira and Nasir struggle with their identity. They struggle with either what they are doing or what they should be doing, and I really loved seeing their journey to accepting what they do, what they know, what they can do, and kind of moving past people's expectations. In Zafira's part of the country, anything that a woman touches is like bad, and it's a very misogynistic culture. So the fact that she's a huntress but she has to disguise herself as a man is really difficult for her because it's something she can't claim for herself. And so when she then eventually has to claim who she is and what she can do, is such a powerful moment, and I really enjoyed that. And it's the same with Nasir. He's an assassin, and any compassion he might feel is, you know, very swiftly like dealt with in such a harsh way, and his father has been such a kind of negative presence in his life, that when he kind of starts to go, actually, what is my moral compass? What do I think about this? What is my opinion? Is this right? It's such a big moment, and it's so wonderful to watch. Like Hafsah Faizal, she is just the master in letting it slowly sink in, and especially because there's their two POVs, you really get the tension between the two people, what they think of each other, what they think of the world, and that was probably the thing I enjoyed so much. This is the first book in a duology, and the second book's coming out I think in February of 2021, so I'm very happy I don't have to wait too long to read the follow-up, because I am really looking forward to seeing where this is going. A lot has happened, there's a lot of tension, there's adventure, there's magic, there's crazy creatures. The whole setup, as I said, of the world is really interesting, and so yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes. I feel like it was pretty big and really well developed, but I feel like it can be bigger, so I'm excited for that. There's a little bit of a slow burn romance, but I think mostly this book focuses on the two main characters and their development, and how their development influences the story and influences the quest that they both go on. I also love how the childhood stories that both of our main protagonists have been told play quite a big role in the story. They go to Shar, which is the island in the middle of our world, which is this mythical place where nobody's been forever, and it has, you know, the whole setup of the religion and of, you know, the world building. It kind of all centers on this Shar, which is like an island, and it's full of mythical creatures and, you know, just scary things. And it's great to see how their expectation versus the reality is different, and so there's just so much to discover there. I absolutely love this book. It's, you know, it's not thin, but I literally raced through it. I think I only read it in like a couple of days. I did have to read it on my lunch break quite a few times, and it was really hard to kind of drag myself out of the book and back into reality, because I was really enjoying it so much. So if you're looking for an on voices fantasy that has Arabic inspiration, I highly recommend We Hunt the Flame by Hafsah Faizal. Now is a good time to do it, because you won't have to wait too long for the second book when you inevitably fall in love with it like I have. And yeah, do let me know down below in the comments if you've read this book and what your thoughts are, if you're looking forward to the second book in the Arawiya. Yeah, Arawiya. I keep thinking I'm saying the name wrong, but I think it is Arawiya. So the second book in the Sands of Arawiya series. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know down below in the comments if you have any suggestions for future videos. I am reading slowly this year, so I'm gonna try and make my way through everything I've read in 2020 so far. There we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to all of you very soon. Bye.